Hey, hello everyone, my name is Eric, and someone is asking about my last name. My last name is Jiang, Jiang, and it's my honor to stand here and to share with you my research topic. My research topic is differential privacy. So from the topic, you can see the word privacy. So we are talking about how to protecting privacy. More specifically, if we are given a database that contains sensitive individual information, and how we can protect an individual from being identified. So in terms of privacy, what is privacy? Have you ever considered what would be considered to be privacy in your daily life? What?
Something you only want to keep to yourself. You don't want other know.
Some information,
Yeah.
like secrets.
Yeah.
What about you?
Like personal photos?
Personal photos?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Some other, like
Address.
phone numbers, address, phone numbers, yeah, exactly. So I will give you a definition from Wikipedia about privacy. Please allow me to read this. Privacy is the ability of an individual or group to seclude themselves or information about themselves and thereby express themselves selectively. The boundaries and content of what is considered private differ among cultures and individuals, but share common themes. So, as far as I'm concerned, I value the ability, the right to be let alone. I should have my private space, private room. Also, I should have my private secret that nobody knows. Also, the most important, I want everyone to have limited access to my personal information. For example, just you have mentioned my address, my phone number. So today we want to talk about a method called differential privacy to protect sensitive individual information in a database. So let's see an example. So the intuitive way is to delete some personal identifiers in a database, like name, address, social security numbers, so that nobody can identify the individual in a database. But please see this example. GIC is a company. The full name is Global Insurance Commission, and it released a data set, and it deleted all those personal identifiers, and the governor claimed that the individuals in the database are protected. And by the way, the database contains the hospital records of the state employees. So, interestingly, a graduate student, she combined the database with some other database she got from the internet, and she identified the governor's records, and she sent the records to the governor. So, does anonymization really is anonymization really a good method to protect individual information? So I don't think so. This is why we put forward the concept of differential privacy. So the graduate student use other information from like the names, addresses, zip codes, and birth date from other databases. This is a quote from an author. She said, "Privacy, like eating and breathing, is one of life's basic requirements." So privacy is very important in our daily life. We are receiving spams that are trying to sell us things. We are receiving scam calls that they know the exact information of us. So we are social animals, and we are participating in many social activities. but we don't want our personal information to be revealed. This is the outline of my presentation. First, introduce the basic ideas of differential privacy from its definition and the relevance, and finally a conclusion. The second part is two examples concerned about the passenger privacy from a database released by New York City, 2013. So this is the definition of differential privacy. So I want you to consider the following situation. Suppose you have access to a database that allows you to compute the total income of all residents in a certain area. If you knew that Mr. White was going to move to another area, simply querying this database before and after his move would allow you to deduce his income. Right? So what will you do? I will give you the basic idea of differential privacy. Differential privacy is that we make sure that every query returns an approximation of the total income. So we will not give the exact number of the total income. We give an approximation. This is the official definition. I will not cover this. So what kind of noise? How can we achieve? How can we reach an approximation of the total salary? We want to add some noise to the total salary. What kind of noise? The most popular mechanism is called the Laplace mechanism. We are adding random noise that conforms to the Laplace statistical distribution. So here is the chart for Laplace distribution. We can see two parameters are important. First is parameter mu. It decides where the distribution locates, and another parameter is b. It is called the scaled distribution, and it decides the shape of the distribution. Like when b is getting larger, we can see we can see that there is a higher probability that larger random noise will be generated. So it's okay that if you do not know much about the distribution, I just want you remember that the parameter b is what we care about. If b is larger, we have a higher probability to get a bigger noise. So the next question is how much noise should be added? So I will give you the equation. Lambda here actually is the b we talked about. It has something to do with the size of the noise. So lambda equals to delta f over epsilon. Epsilon is called privacy parameter. So in my opinion, I think epsilon represents how much privacy we want to protect. If epsilon is large, we can say we're allowed to release more privacy. So this information isn't that important. So we can allow more privacy to be released. The next parameter is delta f. Delta f describes the nature of the query, because different queries can have different results. Some queries are too important, too sensitive, like if Eric is in this database. So this is a too strong query. So we want to parameter to characterize this query. So finally, I just want you to know this equation. So delta f means we call it the sensitivity parameter. So when delta f is larger, we have bigger noise. Epsilon is larger, we have less noise. This is a equation. Sorry, maybe it's too technical. So for example, I will give you an example of delta F, the sensitivity. In terms of the Mr. White example, so we have two columns. The first column is the name of the residents in the neighborhood, and the second column the salaries of each residence. And what is the delta F of this table if we are querying the total salary? So the total salary should be, the sensitivity should be 1 million. Because from the table we can see that Mr. White should be the most richest man in the neighborhood, and he has the greatest impact to our query, which is the total salary of this database. So see, this just corresponds to my previous statement that delta F describes how strong this query is. So, okay, just maybe you're wondering what it will look like. So, from the previous table, if you query Mr. White will leave the neighborhood, right, and just query twice the database, you will get Mr. White's salary will be 1 million. So after we apply differential privacy, sorry. Can I change the I can't see the mouse. So the exact value should be 1 million of Mr. White's salary, and if we apply differential privacy, this is what we get after we apply differential privacy. We can see we get different results about Mr. White's salary, and it's not exactly the actual value. So this is what, and we can play around the epsilon, where epsilon is larger. That means just as I mentioned, we are allowing more privacy to be released. So we are supposed to get more accurate results. And also from this equation, when epsilon is larger, we are adding less noise. If we're adding less noise, then the value, the result we get from the database will be more accurate, and this will get the exact, more exact value of Mr. White's salary. So we can say it is very close to 1 million. So let's continue. This is the relevance of differential privacy. So just as mentioned before, the intuitive thoughts about protecting individuals' information in the base is to anonymize something. Just as this is the original table and this is the anonymized one, and we just group some records together. And so what are the drawbacks of this method? This is just simple anonymization. So give you an example. If I am the attacker who want to get the individual's information from the database, and I have some pre-knowledge about you, that I know you are 23 and your zip code starts with a 1, then I can locate your records in this area, and I have 2/3 the probability that you have this kind of disease. So this is a very high probability. And if I have more knowledge about you, I will have a higher probability to identify your disease. So, and this is another way for anonymization. And this is also vulnerable to some other attackers. This is an astonishing number. Like 87% of all Americans can be uniquely identified by just their birth date, zip code, and gender. So, fortunately, I'm not American. And the drawbacks of differential privacy. Just as I mentioned, we are adding noise to the query results. This will result in an inaccurate results. This is the drawbacks. So if the epsilon is very little, we will add grid noise to the query results, and it will result in very useless results. So in conclusion, differential privacy is a trade-off between privacy and the utility of the data set. Here are some examples. Does anyone recognize this lady? This lady is Jessica Alba, one of my favorite American actresses, and he is American actress, model, and a businessman. And from the New York taxi data released in 2013, we can easily identify her trip in a specific day. First, just search online about his news, like images of celebrities, images of Jessica Alba, and identify the correct record in the database, and you can find the trips. This is Jessica Alba's trips on 7th September 2013, and also you can get her pickup location, drop-off location, and even how much she paid, and with no recorded tip. This is after you apply differential privacy, the result you'll get. If the square is darker, it has high probability about the pickup location. So you can see there are several darker squares in the chart, and the blue one represents the actual pickup. So you will have no way to identify its pickup. Another example is about night travels of some person. This is very interesting one. So our objective location is this club, Larry Flynt's Hustler Club. And what we do is to go out the pickup locations around this club, and we map the drop-off locations of those pickup location. And we have we map them on this Google map. And it is very astonishing. Because the accuracy is very precise. You can locate to a single block. And with other knowledge about the condition of the block, like where there are other people living in the apartments or whatever, you can easily identify the inhabitants of this apartment. What you can do is that Google an address to reveal its resident's name, and examine other drop-offs and at this address to get the gentleman's other destinations. And you can even use Facebook to find his property value, relationship status, court records, and even a profile picture. This is very terrifying. This is the result of applying differential privacy to the records. So I think it's over. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, since you ran over, and I think that how about 3 minutes Q&A? Okay, all right. So
I'm sorry for existing.
oh, it's all right. Okay, audience members, questions?
You know, there is some privacy issue between Apple and USA government. So
Yes.
maybe you think personal privacy could be released for public purpose? Do you think or not? What's your opinion?
Yeah, because like the concept like big data is very hot these days. Actually, we are generating more and more data in our daily life, and it is very useful. We cannot just put this data aside and do not use it. I think it's a waste of resource. So I think it should be used, and data can be published to users, to researchers, to make full use of them. But this is what we are developing many privacy protecting methods to protect the leakage of individual information. So I agree to publish the data to the people.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Jay?
Like paparazzi always take a photo for the superstars, and like this day, the snow days, the snow clearers always work very late and make very big noises. Do you think this kind of situation all is violate the personal privacy?
You mean? Could you repeat the question?
Do you think this kind of situation always
What kind of situation?
like the snow cleaner?
Slope, Nina?
Yeah, for the snow days. It's a work very. It's to clean the snow on the road.
Yeah.
It's always work very late. For example, at night, 12 o'clock at
Yeah.
night, and they always make very big noises. Do you think this kind of situation violate personal privacy?
Yeah, I think this is a trade-off between the security. If you do not clean the nodes on the road, it may cause some traffic problems during the day, and of course it may cause some disturbing noise at night. But also I'm disturbed by those noise at night. But if you think this will give you a more secure road condition the next day, I think maybe we can understand it.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, you have one more question? Okay, go ahead.
So how can we protect our privacy if the privacy is violated?
What my topic today is about what data keepers should do if they want to publish the data. And from a personal view, individual view, I think what is the most important is that you should never publish your personal information to social media. And for example, sometimes the many apps have the ability to locate you, and when you send out a message to the social media, it will show your location. And maybe sometimes if you live alone and some bad guys see you are away from home, they will steal your belongings.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. We'll stop here.